Offensive lineman and Jason Peters, tackle, offensive tackle for the Eagles. He's the highest paid, 10-4. Wow, it's a lot of scratch. Why a tackle more than a guard? Like what? It's a tackle just a bigger deal than a guard.
They're blocking the edge rushers. They're blocking the big name guys who are paid
but I thought
to
they got the
sack
pulling
the
guards on the sweep and everything.
That's run blocking. That's
center's not a big deal?
basically want to.
Okay.
A good left tackle needs to be massive, huge
blind
wingspan,
side. The blind
quick,
side.
able to get back and stuff. Yeah.
Protecting the
By the
quarterback.
way, there's 2 or 3 guys making that kind of money.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's it.
It's not.
That's it.
Not an
So
average.
2 or 3. The top 10 guys average about $6 million. That's the top 10 out of 330 million people in this country.
Number 10 is making 4.7.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Levi Brown, tackle for the Cardinals.
Right. I mean, that's just and their careers aren't that long.
And that's the thing, not that long. And if obviously, if they're doing these whatever they're putting in their body, chemical wise, they're ruining their body, and they become monsters, and they're kind of freaks.
These guys, when they're done playing,
they're destroyed.
It's wrists, elbows, shoulders.
Yeah.
There's nothing left. They can't carry groceries.
There are no old timers games in pro football.
Exactly.
You don't see old timers games. It's not like the Yankees trotting these guys out. You don't see Jim Otto coming out here taking a bow.
Here's
know
Lefty
Jim
Jablano
really well.
Jim Otto.
I know Jim really
how many
well.
surgeries? Was it like 30?
Hundreds.
Yeah.
He just had an amputation.
Here's Lefty Jablonowicz. He's a pulling guard at 82 years
Earl
old.
Campbell, because you're not seeing him in the old timers.
Shane just told me, I know, unfortunately, I love Earl Campbell. Shane just told me in my ear the highest paid guard for the Giants, Chris Snee. What do you think?
6.
Great, 6 and change, right?
6'7", yeah, 6.7.
That's the highest paid guy at his position.
For guard, yeah.
And it's not guaranteed.
No, check the
How
center.
about fullback?
Probably not. What about a center?
What's the highest paid fullback?
Well, there's no fullback.
Well,
Yeah,
fullback
right.
is a
There's
blocking
3
back.
of them.
Yeah.
Center's 5.5, and it's, what is it, Reza? Say again. I love how I just
Wow,
put TV over my ear.
5'5", man.
Scott Wells for the Rams.
Wow.
But that's the
What about
top
fullback?
guy.
I know.
That's the
Fullback team?
top guy.
That's before commission, everything. I was surprised to hear, now you know this, of course, doing your research for Arliss, that 3% is what a sports
3%,
agent gets.
yeah.
That's, oh my God, compared to what we're doing, who negotiated for us in show business?
3%.
3%, my
Right.
God, that's astonishing.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's why these sports agents have to sign 1 million guys, probably, all these clients
That's
they have.
part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's not where they get more for endorsements. It's
Right.
3% of the
They get 10
contract.
for
They get 10 for
endorsements, yeah.
endorsements and stuff like
Oh,
that.
They get up
okay,
to
there you go.
20.
But
for
how
some
many
stuff.
how many guys get big money endorsements?
No, you're right.
Not in football.
That's not named Peyton Manning.
Right, you're right.
You know, if you're
exactly.
not named Peyton Manning or Brett,
LeBron,
10,
yeah.
10 guys.
Yeah.
Who
What does
know their
LeBron
face.
make in endorsements? Probably
Well, but that's
90 million.
LeBron. That's, that's
Who's the biggest guy? Is it still Boris? Who's the biggest agent
in baseball, Boris.
in baseball?
In baseball,
yeah.
it'd be Scott Boris.
And what about the other sports? Do
Although
they-
basketball now, whew. I mean, I don't know.
does Boris have
Drew
Jeter? Jeter's not
Rosenhaus.
with Boris,
No,
right?
Boris is Casey Close. Used to be at IMG.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Right. That fascinates
Jay-Z
me.
just took.
I know. Jay-Z,
Cano.
he's going to take everybody.
Well, he's part of.
might.
He's the face of the.
He's got Cano, and he's
got
going
Cano.
to get LeBron. Maybe he's got his eye on him.
Who knows?
Who has LeBron?
Durant.
Oh yeah,
You got Durant. Jay-Z got Durant.
he got Kevin
No,
Durant.
he didn't have Durant yet. I don't think so. Did he?
He got Durant. He just signed
He
him.
did get Durant?
Yeah,
Okay.
he signed him a couple weeks ago.
I don't know who LeBron's agent is. I really don't.
But
You know what's amazing about LeBron is through all the stuff that we know of. Let me preface that. For all the he came out of high school, and we've never really heard of any trouble of him off the court.
he seems like a good guy. Yeah.
That we know of.
Right.
No,
I know.
He
It's tough
played
to
in
get-
Cleveland. He didn't play in New York.
You hear
But
Jordan
that
Jordan got a lot of stuff swept under the rug,
Right.
gambling, whatever. But
But we haven't heard that about LeBron, and especially with all the guys he's basically with his old high school buddies. And how many horror stories have we heard with guy? Not him.
he seems like a good
I
guy.
respect that a lot.
Okay.
And
Of
that's
course,
part of
yeah,
why
sure.
I like him.
You could have a lot of trouble, man. I mean, come on.
And he's been under the microscope
Absolutely.
since he was an 8th grader.
His worst thing, I think, character trait is he can get a little cocky. I think. And become
well,
a bit of
can
a-
you blame him? Everyone's been telling him he's the best in the world
Yeah, but
since he was
sometimes you see
12.
I think the biggest
carried away.
scandal he ever had, was wearing a Dallas Cowboy hat and a New York Yankee hat when he was in Cleveland or something like
Right,
that.
like I mean,
I think that was
just,
it.
and that's just fan stuff.
Yeah.
but the biggest thing he has going against him, I think, is that cockiness that led to the press conference.
That was a public relations
But
nightmare.
we're not talking about. You're right. You're not talking about drugs. You're not talking about beating up a hooker or something.
He's
Yeah.
a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
By the way, my first pick in the fantasy football draft was Aaron Hernandez.
Was it really? Was it really? Oh my God.
No, this was just the other day. And he was my first pick. You know, you go after the laugh. You know? Hey, as I said, they go, "What?" I go, "Took a shot."
Doesn't that just prove that there's just some people that are just made up differently? He doesn't look nearly as upset as he should look in the newspaper. He threw away. Think about the difference in his life. He's 23 years old. He's going to be in a cell the size of this desk for the rest of his life.
Maybe. We've seen some court cases recently.
I don't know, man.
We don't know yet. It doesn't look good, but talk about guns. You were in the locker room. How much? We talk about steroids in baseball. What about when you were playing? I mean, what would
You're talking to the wrong guy. He sees nothing.
Yeah.
He'd be a perfect mafia guy.
I didn't pick up on the enhancement drugs.
Claims he never saw steroids.
What about guns?
I know. Yeah, a lot of guys had guns. What do you
mean?
I
what do you mean have
handgun.
guns? Like just
a lot of guys.
like at their house, or they went shooting?
Yeah.
At the house is one thing. What about on them though?
Carrying a gun or having a gun in your car.
Like
that's
Plaxico
something that
Burress type cold.
Right. That's something that the team security guys talk to you about at the beginning of every season, middle of every season, end of every season. It's a constant. Make sure this is not you.
Right.
Make sure that we don't have to deal with this. But they provide you with kind of a guy you can call
security
if something happens.
Right, exactly.
And so there's a lot of ways to prevent the stuff that you see on ESPN, the stuff that blows up. If you're in any way conscientious at all, and you listen at all to anything that people advise, you're taken care of.
Right.
So, which is what it confounds me.
I mean, what Plaxico Burress did is so extraordinarily stupid. I mean, it's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And you're a target too. You're not gonna, cops are gonna have fun with that one.
That's a guy who, the Steelers got rid of him because of attitude problems.
Yeah. I
can tell you, listen, it's tough to keep your head on straight, like we were just talking about with LeBron, when everyone's telling you you're great.
Sure.
And to be at that level of self-importance, to put yourself that far above the warnings and the advisories is pretty incredible.
Movie stars. I mean,
Oh, sure.
Kid stars. Look at Amanda Bynes.
I know.
Did you see the latest with her?
Disaster.
She was on Arliss at 13.
Oh, sure.
I had her on Arliss.
What did she do there?
She played a kid skater who was a gymnast or a skater. It might have been a gymnast. Or a skate, I forgot what it was, but she was a kid who divorced her parents. Remember that story? The girl, about the kid many years ago. What was that? She played. She was like 13 years old.
Were there any early signs?
None.
She seemed
What's
great.
the latest? I think I know
under psychiatric.
The latest, she's a 50-51 or a 51-50, whatever they put Britney Spears on when she shaved her head.
Yeah.
So she's being held for 3 days.
Started a fire.
She started a fire in someone's driveway that she didn't know. In a Thousand Oaks neighborhood, which is near where she grew up.
Man.
She was caught in a retail store, pantsless. Apparently, she burned her clothing in this person's driveway. She was pantsless. She had a crazy-looking wig on.
And when officers,
she kept trying to get into a retirement community.
Right.
And she was apparently seemingly drunk, so they didn't let her in. They called a cab. She didn't have money to pay the cab, so they kicked her out of the cab. The cops came. They couldn't understand what she was saying, so they called.
Does she have a lot of money? I guess if she has back end in that show, because that show got syndicated. She was on, right? That was a big deal.
She was working from the age of 8 years old. I mean, that's kids. So, by the way, I bring greetings. I just came from Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh, Dice, sure.
I was just at a screening of the new Woody Allen movie.
Let's take a quick. I want to hear this story. We got to take a quick break. Can you hang for a while?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Dice is in the new Woody Allen movie, and Robert was just at the screening with him and Kate Blanchett. Dice and Kate. I want to hear about that.
And Louis C.K.
And Louis, the Artie Lange show. Come right.